if you want to read a few really good books in September and October, well, join us, because Greg and I are starting this read-along for Philip K. Dick, the two novels Valis and Radio Free Albemuth, and they're tied together. Link below to Greg's announcement. And then we're reading The Shadow of the Wind in September too. So we're reading these two books in September, then this one in October. Yes. So this, I think, will be the more... I've read both of these before. Let me start with Valis. Our buddy read this in... Did I put it down here? No, I have notes. But our buddy read it with a booktuber that doesn't make content anymore. We all have friends like that. But takes place in 1971, California. This is the time of Timothy Leary, Richard Nixon, a lot of drugs going around, a lot of Beatles. Well, they were breaking up in 1971. In 1976, the protagonist of Valis is Horse Lover Fat. That's his name. And he has a suicide attempt in 1976. I think that corresponds with Philip K. Dick attempting suicide. And he's married to, I have Gloria, who does commit suicide, and then loses his wife to mental illness, authorities filled with hate. But I read this probably 5 years ago. I don't even know if I reviewed it, but I really enjoyed it. I'm not like a Philip K. Dick fan boy or scholar by any means, but I do like, I've seen the movies Total Recall, and I really liked Minority Report. Those are based on inspiration for such films as Blade Runner, Total Recall. But I guess this book belongs in the tradition of more Vonnegut, who I am well read in, and Calvino. Buddy read that, the Something in the Trees. Do I have my copy handy? No. Baron, The Baron in the Trees, which is a trippy novel about literally a guy who lives his whole life above ground in trees. It's got a real complicated system that reminds me of this book, which is I'll get back to, which is a joy to read. I call it magical realism, go ahead and say that, because it's compared with like 100 Days of Solitude, which 100 Years of Solitude even, which I have and I've read, and Greg and I are threatening to reread this. We had it on the schedule for, I think, this year. But, so he compares it to Marquez meets Umberto Eco meets Jorge Luis Borges for a sprawling magic show. And I love magic, stage magic, and let's see. Yeah, anyone who enjoys novels that are scary, erotic, touching, tragic, and thrilling should rush right out to the nearest bookstore and pick up The Shadow in the Wind. Really, you should. I thought there was a blurb from Stephen King, yeah. If you thought the true Gothic novel died with the 19th century, this will change your mind. The Shadow of the Wind is the real deal. A novel full of cheesy splendor and creaking trapdoors, a novel where even the subplots have subplots. This is one gorgeous read. Yeah, couldn't agree more. I don't know anyone who has read this and didn't like it, or... Now this, people do have opinions on. I've probably watched more YouTube videos on Philip K. Dick, interviews and him talking, than I've read his books. I have not read Radio Free Albemuth yet. This is like he wrote this before Valis in an attempt to capture like a theme. Transmission from extraterrestrials, messages, is it in his head? Is it real? And this is a debate that goes a long way back in the history of mankind. For example, if I tell you that I can lucid dream and control my actions in dreams to the point where I don't even use a window anymore, I can go through the ceiling. I don't have to necessarily fly around. I can do it in my head. And then I meet and talk to people. They look like people. They sound like people. They speak English. And some give me weird messages that I can't figure out. Like somebody had a device the size of a cell phone and sent it to me across the room, and it disappeared into my heart, my chest cavity, things like that. You'd think I was crazy. Well, there's that and much more in Valis. Gnostic Christianity, reality is revealed through a pink laser. Valis is a theological detective story in which God is both a missing person and the perpetrator of the ultimate crime. I just remember his girlfriend, Sherry, his first wife is Gloria, yeah, and then Sherry is a girlfriend who, I won't spoil it. It's like a domestic story. I have all kinds of meaningless pieces of paper marking up this book. I'll just remove them now. Look at all these. I have no idea what these are. So we're all beginning at the same point, which is base one for me. You'll see it's divided up into like bold print, these aphorisms that are numbered. Let me show you a good page. and they're not in order. Okay, I knew there was some Hermetics and Masonic stuff, but see, 21, 10, 12, these are all entries. Can you see the numbers? Let me read 10. Apollonius of Tyana, writing as Hermes Trismegistus. Hermes, it means twice magical. Hermes Trismegistus, can't pronounce it, said, "That which is above is that which is below." If you've ever heard, as above, so below, the microcosm and the macrocosm, the planets all in a system, the human body is in a system. I don't control the planets, and I certainly don't control my body. I don't control my digestive system. I barely control the words coming out of my mouth sometimes. So we don't know if it's madness or if he's putting us on or what. Maybe we find out a bit more in this, published posthumously, but written before. I don't know if I probably didn't do Shadows of the Wind justice, but I hope I did, and I hope I didn't scare you away with my ramblings and digressions and that on Philip K. Dick. Please go to Greg's channel his video in the description box for more details and his stories behind the books. And make a comment below if you want to join the Voxer groups. My Voxer ID is Alan770. It's in my About section. And I hope you like this video and hope to see you again. Thanks.